Good morning. It's Fish, the Beach Bum Investor, cryptocurrency discussion and report for the 23rd of January 2018. Some interesting rumors or news coming out. I'm still trying to decipher because it has been written in Korean. But some interesting stuff coming out in the last 24 hours, just this morning actually, about the potential for Korean banks, 6 of them, to be allowing cryptocurrency accounts with pretty stringent know your customer regulations going around that. There we go. Ashok Ramasamy is first in. Floyd, Ethercept third. Yes, I think you've realised that. Hourglass said, my girlfriend said, what's up, Fish? What's up, Hourglass's girlfriend? How are you, Mrs. Neo Schiller? Mrs. Neo Schiller. What's going on, Shaquille? Nate, Adam Tazen, lots of people in TNC. How you going, guys? All right, let's have a look at this article that's been posted up on our Discord group. A lot of you will have seen it already. I'm just going to bring it over to screen share and we'll take a look. Daniel Chippendale, how are you, man? Just going to bring it over, guys, so we can take a look together. It's an important article, in my opinion. I'm going to help you out with it because this is not an easy one. Sometimes we get these news out of Asia and it's not easy to decipher. Thankfully for you, I do speak a little bit of Korean, so I'm going to help you out. So this is the article that's come out recently. Now, I'm just going to scroll through this and actually read it for you. What I'm going to do is I'm going to read it for you in, what have I done? Sorry. Won't be one moment. Just setting up here. Yeah, so this is some interesting news. And one of the things that I found really interesting about this bit of rumor that's coming out, or it might actually be news, that it's very much speaking like it's going to happen. But one of the interesting things that this proves to me is that fear is a much bigger motivator than potential success, because it takes a whisper like this about, shutdowns of exchanges in China and Korea and the market goes into a 30 to 40% dive. But to me, this is very, very positive. This is very, very positive, and it's gone, the market's still bleeding when I last checked. So I'm just going to read this article for you now. Well, I'm actually going to summarize this article for you because it is in Korean. So fortunately, I do speak Korean. I'll try and get a good flow to it. It's not easy when you're translating on the run. Okay, so here we go. Six banks 30-day confirmations of blindness on January 30th. New investments will be applied to strict criteria such as blind date confirmation. Park Yongju 30 days after the expiration date. From this point on, new investments in virtual money are allowed, but it is likely that more stringent standards will be applied in the process of confirming blindness. According to I think that word means financial authorities. Yes, it does. Financial authorities banks and virtual money traders on the 23rd. 6 banks, including Nonghuip Bank, Shinhan Bank, and Shinhan Bank, which are providing virtual currency exchanges and virtual accounts. Start. Yeah, it's a bit hard because it's obviously written a little bit differently. So I'm doing my best here. The 6 banks are planning to open the system at the same time, said an official from the banks and virtual currency exchanges. Confirmation of blindness, deposit and withdrawal service is a service that permits only the account of the traders whose identity is confirmed, that the deposit withdrawal between the same bank account of the exchange. If the exchange and the trader's account are in different banks, the trader must open a bank account like the exchange. Yeah, that's right. A trader must go to bank branch in person to open up a bank account at another bank and check his/her name. During this process, you must present proof of real name, such as your resident registration card or driver's license. So that's interesting there. So the article goes on a bit. I'm pretty bad at speaking, like translating and trying to get a flow on at the same time. So I'll come back to the chat, but it's the link for the article is in the description for those of you who speak Korean. So for those of you who hadn't figured out, I was reading the English version here and being tricky. All right, so I'm going to come back to get off screen share. Yeah, so you can just go ahead and translate that. But it's an interesting article talking about 6 banks going to simultaneously allow for cryptocurrency accounts. That sounds like there's going to be fairly stringent KYC processes. But it is interesting, don't you think, that like a little bit of news comes out in, it can come out in China or Korea about potential even regulations or temporary shutdowns causes so much of a sell-off, and yet some really significantly good rumors like that haven't really restored confidence in the economy at all. So it leads me to believe that this is, that fear is a much bigger motivator than potential success. Oh, cool. Thanks, Ethan. Check that out. Still don't want to mention it, just in case I want to. Have they done a valuation on that yet, Ethercept? Have they actually put a price on, market cap, a hard cap, what they're trying to raise at ICO? I'd be interested, because that's one I'm still interested in getting in on. Yeah, Hourglass said it's pretty accurate to call her Mrs. Neo, his missus. Primal Joe's in. Chiakai Hinahara is in for 51.50 time. Grenkas is in. Grenkas and BB Junkie, I think, are doing their own ICO. Correct me if I'm wrong. Grenkas. BB asked me to have a quick look at it. It's not one that I'm going to be investing in, but obviously happy for you guys to be running your own ICO through the group if you've got one that you want to do there. So no worries at all. Anyone look at? No, I didn't. Token sales started January 10. I didn't get in. One is, I don't want to mention the name of it, I'm deliberately skipping that, is 16 cents, which seems high for an ICO price. Again, coin price just doesn't, I don't know, it depends on circulating supply, Mark G. How many coins are being released? How many coins make up the entire economy, more importantly? Nodio, good to see the market's up. I only look at it every 6 days. It looks up about 15% average across the board, just being positive. Nice, Nodio. Yeah, cool, man. Cool. That's the thing, Ethercept. I like the look of the project, but I'm not gonna buy something that's overvalued, man. That's silly. So I'll wait for them to come out of their valuation. Chase F's in from Colorado. How you going? Howdy. How are you, mate? 7th of Jan, ADA 49 cents. Today 54 cent. EOS 9th of the 7th. What? 9. Oh, geez, that's hard. $9.07 now, 13.39. Icon 6.23 to 7.77. Anyone would be happy at 15% in a week. Nodio makes a really, really good point, and people do get in a habit in this economy of comparing things to yesterday, both when being unimpressed with profits because it only went up 3% today, and they forget they've gone up bloody 300% since they bought it, and also considering, oh, I've lost this much today because it's gone down that much. Well, no, it took back some of the profits. So Nodio makes a good point. It's a lot easier to leave the emotional decisions out of it if you're a half glass full sort of a person. Oldcoin M, your thoughts on ICX mainnet tomorrow? Do you think it's already built into the current price? Let me check the current price. The bigger thing for me, Altcoin M, is the summit in 2 weeks. Actually, Wilkie said it was a week. I think it's 2 weeks. I got to check the date on it. But hey, Kev, how you going, man? So for me, the bigger announcement, honestly, most of the time mainnet launches are factored into the price. That's my experience. And so you'll see a sell-off into the event. But I think that the people in the know, people who have done their research, are going to be less inclined to do that on Icon. Affidavit's in. G'day, mate. The reason I think that they're going to be less inclined to do that on Icon is because of the rumors, what the article we read yesterday described as rumblings about a possible Visa / Icon partnership. Now, can we just put the bit of news we got yesterday, or the rumblings, the rumor we got yesterday, and can we pair that with the rumor we've got today? Now, you've got Visa looking to get, according to the article from yesterday, you've got Visa looking to get into the cryptocurrency space and looking for a good entry point to get in, good currency to team up with. That's the reports. Now you've got Korean banks, 6 of them, simultaneously allowing cryptocurrency accounts to be open, provided, stringent KYCs. That article goes on to say you'll need to go into the bank in person, prove your ID, blah, blah, blah. So stringent KYC processes, that's good. That's good. So if you put all that together, though, an optimistic person might see that it strengthens the rumor from yesterday. Because if Visa had inside word that 6 banks were going to actually make this move, which I would see as certainly possible, that Visa has inside word what some of the banks are doing. So yeah, if 6 banks had got together and said, we're going to do this, we're going to allow this, and then Visa's looking for an entry point, it makes sense that they might go with a Korean project. So I think that adds further validity to the rumor. Will it play out? I still don't know. It could be nothing but people's dreams, and it started somehow. Someone said, oh, wouldn't it be good if Icon partnered with someone like Visa? And then someone said, what? Icon partnered with Visa? And you know how Chinese whispers work. So that certainly wasn't confirmed news yesterday. And I'm still vetting this because I've only just read the article. So I'm not 100% sure that the 6 banks is 100% confirmed. But the article, as far as Google Translator goes, when I translated it, seemed pretty strong on that thought. So if you put 2 and 2 together, I think that to me is far more exciting than the mainnet launch for Icon. That's what I reckon. Mark G says, smash the like button. Feel free to subscribe if you're a newbie as well. We do talk crypto every day, not just my favorites, everyone's favorites. Chase F, done. I'm optimistic. Good to hear. Good to hear. That's the way to be. Visa XRP, Ripple rumors back at the start of the year. They get everywhere. Speaking of which, XRP has had 2 to 3 big announcements in the last few days, and their price is still falling. Yeah. Yeah, BB. I think people are sort of off Ripple, though. Although wasn't it one that had like a bit of a recovery against the market? The market seemed to be bleeding last time I was checking. Ripple and Stellar were 2 that were going a little bit against the market. And another one was PIVX. What's up, Jace? Not many people call me Luke. Interesting. Jace has come and said, yo, Luke. I know I don't contribute to the Discord so much, but have you guys ever heard of Hyper Performance Blockchain? Yes, I have. Neo is an angel investor and UnionPay partnership. I have heard of it. I haven't looked into it. A few people have talked about it. UnionPay, based on my research, is bigger than Visa and MasterCard combined for China. Any word? I'll have to research. Not research to make a comment on that one. Sorry, Hourglass. Notio, always end of the year is the best of the markets. Traditionally, January, February worst. But big picture is I would rather be buying any altcoin 2 months ago than now. Wow, most are at least 2x. Yeah, that's a really good point. Michael Smith's in. Massive FOMO on OneChain. Exchange listing probably hitting any day soon. Any thoughts on OneChain? It's much anticipated, man. Much anticipated. We'll see what happens. I think your description of the market sentiment at the moment is completely. A lot of people are pretty eager for it to hit exchanges. We did decide that we were going to try and keep an eye on that as a group, and if anyone sees an exchange hit, we're going to hammer it straight off the bat if it hasn't gone stupid X. Because quite often there's a pump, and then a real early pump is the earliest people FOMO the crap out of it. But then there's a dump as other people move their coins to the first exchange it gets listed on to sell off from their ICO profits and do their flip if that's what they were interested in. So I find that after the pump, there is usually like quite a considerable dump as people get pissed off that they didn't get the top of the market and just take it further down. That to me has generally been the best time to buy on promising ICOs hitting market. We are going to try and give each other notifications on Discord when that happens. There's a lot of talk that it will be Binance first, simply because of what Binance did with Icon, essentially beating. No one expected it there. Everyone expected it on OKX. And then bang, it hits Binance. And Zhao told us 6 minutes before it got there. So we're going to try and do that same sort of thing for OneChain. Nodio said they've changed Ripple to from XRP to RIP, as in rest in peace. Very clever. Sam Roberts, sup fish? How are you feeling on BTC? Down to 8, double bottom around 10. It could go lower. I don't know. The thing is it can definitely go lower. But most analysts who have done well at predicting prices in this game have predicted price points in the vicinity of $40,000 to $50,000 by the end of 2018. So can it go lower? Of course it can. But given that this article, by the way, guys, that we had a look at before, that was only released like 5 or 6 hours ago, and Asia's just waking up now. So we'll see what happens. But yeah, it can definitely go lower. I think a lot of people are looking for it to pierce 10 on the downside, and maybe hit support around the 8,000 mark, like you suggested, maybe 8.5. I don't know. I haven't really looked at the charts. I don't play heavily on the charts. You got to a little bit because so many people do. But you know, I just think buying at these sorts of prices long term for BTC, you're going to be fine. They got some pretty cool developments coming in. You know, Lightning Network appears to solve a lot of the scalability issues. We still got to see it fully implemented in terms of adopted by the people with the biggest wallets, people like Coinbase and that. Like, the thing is that the reason that it costs so much to move your BTC off places like Coinbase is because Coinbase don't use SegWit. Why not? Like that, I don't understand that. Why don't they use Lightning Network where applicable? I don't really understand it. Like, they should be at the forefront of these things, right? And it seems like there's a strategic delay for some reason. I could be completely wrong with that because tech is not my strong point, and there may be far more complications in enabling that on a mass scale like Coinbase than I'm aware of. But if there's not, we have to ask the question, why? Why is SegWit not being enabled? Why has Lightning Network, when these things are available to people good enough with their tech skills to be able to actually utilize these features of BTC, why are they not available to the masses, or at least being promoted through exchanges and central points that should have enough knowledge in this area to be able to perform that? That's just my question. If anyone can answer that, I'd love to hear it. Fish, thoughts on Weiss ratings coming this week? Weiss ratings? Phil Davis? I'm not familiar with the term, man. Weiss ratings. Am I missing something really obvious there? It seems like something I should know. Weiss ratings. Weiss ratings will release the first Bitcoin and cryptocurrency grades by any rating agency in the world. Okay, cool. We're so proud to be the first to create robust, unbiased cryptocurrency ratings to help investors to cut through the hype and identify the few truly solid, most promising cryptocurrencies. Click here for more details. Cool, man. Weiss ratings. I hadn't used that before in business valuations. I'm sure it's a common tool, but as with everything, Fish tends to do things his own way. Sam Roberts, sup Fish? Hey, that's right. We already read that. Sorry, dude. Get back down to life. Oh, Hourglass figured out how many sub you need for a masternode. How many? Why would you just put that and not put the answer? Go all bloody build the suspense on us. Mark G said the Leafs just scored. They're up 2-1 halfway through the second. Thanks, mate. Go those Leafs. Go Leafs, go. Hourglass. Turns out you don't need any sub to run a masternode. It's a program that you run on your computer. You can just collect sub like that. Oh, I actually did know that. It's the same as Gladius and QLink and all these shared resources projects. So, yeah, I did actually know that, Hourglass. Sorry, mate. Yeah. Weiss count. Okay, this is Phil Davis. Weiss count. The coins divided by, or the coins / tokens, sorry, that get an A will have an advantage over those that do not. Crypterium just hit the market, available to buy and sell on Ether Delta, other decentralized exchanges. Thanks, man. Nate Forge, it looks to be a lot of volume coming in as we speak. Either way, even if it goes down a bit more, The correction is about to be over. Oh, I like to see volume on the buys, Nate. Like if you've had a look at the volumes recently, the volumes increased when it's been going down. That you want to see those volumes significantly increasing on the buy sides, unless like I haven't checked that in sort of 24 hours, but yeah, I hope it's bottoming out. I think we've had a good shakeout, good correction. It's healthy, allowed some people to take some profits. Utrust is a Portuguese project, right, Shaquille? I haven't looked into it, man. That's Zhao's job. He lives in Portugal. So Zhao will look into that. Utrust, he's probably able to tell you a bit about it. QuantStamp I have started to get more bullish on. Yeah, I think it's a solid project. It's focused on security and thinking about auditing of smart contracts, which I think is a necessary step. Could have prevented, they sort of security layers could have prevented the parity hack, is my understanding. So the parity wallet hack, where like a bunch of ether went missing. So yeah, I mean I like QuantStamp. I like the guy, the CEO. I watched an interview with him and the Crypto Lark, and it was really informative. But he algorithmic trading and made a lot of money and retired very young. So I don't think he needs money, which is just, for me, it's just always a nice indicator when someone's doing something because they feel like society's going to benefit from it. I feel like he'll stick with it even if the money doesn't prove to be there. But they did some really cool stuff in the early stages to do with community building, which is really essential in a cryptocurrency, to be honest. There's a lot of good technological projects that's a lot further down the charts than they should be, in my opinion, because of a lack of community building. So I think that the way QuantStamp went about their introduction to the crypto economy with the proof of care concept was very, very clever. Phil Davis said Weiss ratings are mainstream, so you can be forgiven. Yeah, man, that's tends not to be my style to go. That's, in all honesty, that's why I left university so many times. I can read books myself. I don't need a university lecturer standing up there telling me what's in the book. Hope people got in and bought bargains this morning. ADA 54 cents, LDC 175. I'm assuming you're meaning not $1.75. Not a if LTC was $1.75 this morning and I missed it, I'll be very upset. IOTA at $2.18, Sub at $1.14, Storage at 133, and Stratus at 11.33. Yeah, there was some huge retracements over the last 24 hours. The market's been super volatile in the last three days. Big, 30 to 40% run down, followed by a 25-30% recovery, and now another double-digit down in the last 24. Although from the reports here, it's starting to kick back. I'll have a look in a second. Cheers, Fishinacci on one chain, a quick strategy. We'll keep an eye on the Discord chat alerts. Yeah, man, that's what we're going to try and do, Michael Smith. We do it quite well with these things when we miss out on ICO. And even Icon, like I said, those people who missed out had a chance to get it as low as $1.20 when it hit markets because Zhao was all over it like a rash. Oh, really? Goalie interference. It's back to 1-1. That sucks. Don't count your chickens before they're hatched. Okay. Notio, Fisho, knew you were wanting to know Tokes held strong. Good to hear, man. No, I still haven't had a look at it, Kev. Singularity Net. Still haven't had a look, man. New coins are not something I can focus on at the moment. It's probably going to be a couple of months. Nazir Razuli, thoughts on Trinity, Neo's scalable solution. Only out on KuCoin right now. My thoughts are Nazir Razuli. It's another one I'm going to have research. Okay, Mark G. If Korean banks allowing cryptocurrency accounts, isn't it a bit of a defeat for crypto pioneers? Centralized banks control your decentralized currency. No, I think it's a win for crypto. Sorry, I have to think about that. I understand your point. But I do think it's a win for crypto because at the end of the day, the banks and financial institutions allowing these services does validate them, in my opinion. And the reality is I can still move money from myself to my friend in Sri Lanka or Malaysia or wherever I'm sending it to without paying exorbitant fees. And I don't, there's no need for me to be. I'm not necessarily concerned about like the bank seeing my accounts. That's the thing. I'm not really. I don't like banks, but I don't really. I don't do anything illegal, so I don't have any problems with the banks necessarily seeing my accounts. What I do have problem with is when that data is tracked on my spending patterns and then it's sold so that people can market to me. That's what I have a serious problem with, which is why I think there is a need for anonymous transactions so that can't occur. But yeah, sorry about that. There are a couple of coins, going back to Nazir's question, that I haven't had a chance to have a look at. Really good question, Andy G. Is QuantStamp just for auditing Ether or any smart contract platform? That I was aware of, it was only Ether, but I shouldn't even say that because I honestly don't know the answer to that. My assumption that I had made was that it was on Ethereum smart contracts, but I'm not sure, man. Maybe it is adaptable. Trinity is set to be the Raiden for Neo. Where did I hear that? Someone told me that. I can't remember. I'm looking to pick some up at the right price, said Seb. Cool. Phil Davis said, I think it's more the exchanges that have been whitelisted to have functional bank accounts more than the individual. Yeah, cool. Okay. Phil Davis has got a quote here to answer the QuantStamp question. Thanks, guys. I love it when you bring in that answer straight away. Okay, so QuantStamp is designed to secure all smart contracts cost effectively in a scalable manner. So I assume not restricted to Ether. Thank you, Phil. Good on you, man. Yeah, well, the way that's worded, I agree. What do I think would happen if China banned crypto? I mean, it's the miners would probably do backflips around the rest of the world because there's been a lot of concern about the strong competitive advantage that Chinese miners have in the cheap costs of labor and electricity in China. So I think if they put the big squeeze on miners in China and mining got moved out of China, that would actually be a positive thing. Because I don't necessarily know that having so much hashing power, so much mining power in perhaps one of the least free societies is really a good idea. So, I like the idea of spreading it as far as we can, right? So having as many miners in as many different parts of the world as possible. And I think that was that I'd have to check the figures, but I think it's been going more and more and more and more to China because other countries that simply can't be competitive with the electricity cost and cost of labor. So yeah, I think it'd be a good thing actually for at least that aspect of crypto. There's a lot of things that China have banned before that haven't hindered their success. Facebook, Google is banned, if I'm not mistaken. Or there's a lot of restrictions on what you can and can't search for in China. So it hasn't affected the prosperity of those countries. So I think crypto will be fine with or without China. It's just whether China wants to be part of the benefits from it. Michael Jordan, what's going on? Yeah, he's doing good. The big dick zebra. Mark G said I'm long on Tron. Picked up a bunch a couple of days ago. I got bearish on Tron, man. To be honest, Just the uncertainty around it. The white paper's been taken down. You did know that, Mark, right? I'm sure that was Tron. Yeah, it's been taken down. So I don't know. Like I said yesterday, that could be a good time while everyone else is fearing. But yeah, not for me. God bless you, Fish and Fish's family. What does SHA 256 think? I don't know what SHA 256 means. Keeps skipping around me. China already banned crypto trading. What else are they going to do to ban? If mining, the miners will just move elsewhere. Seb Fox. I've heard they're moving up to sort of, I want to say, like they're moving up to the Arctic or they're moving to the Antarctic. I can't remember. One of the cold places, because obviously then they'd save a lot of electricity and cooling costs to run the machines where they won't get so hot. BB Junkie said some miners are already moving to Canada. Hourglass, another one that I still haven't had a chance to have a look at, man. Loop ring. Sorry, dude. BB Junkie said loop ring's still down for him and it's 2 days now. Conan Clark said that they're moving to Quebec, the miners, to use up that power from the wind turbines. Well, we got so much, like we've got so much land in Australia. We could literally set up a massive Tesla solar farm and become the biggest mining nation in the world. We could do that. Simple as that. We have, and our land is heavily pounded by the sun 365 days a year. So we should be setting up a massive, massive solar array, especially now that solar's past the point of fossil fuel, like in terms of efficiency. That happened in 2016. So there's no coming back from that now. Fossil fuels are done. I don't know why we're still using them and we've got a cheaper alternative. It has actually become cheaper. So yeah, we should be setting up massive solar farms and become the biggest mining country in the world, and also export the excess electricity to Asia. And that can be our new mining, instead of the mining we're doing at the moment, which is digging up coal out of the ground. And I'm sorry to all my mining friends who earn very good money doing it, but it's destroying our earth. It's destroying our Great Barrier Reef, and we still don't care. So can we just move to solar already? Thank you for Fishy's political rant for the day. Noddy likes loop ring at the moment. Said loop ring's a good buy at the moment on Neo. Will be big. Wabi, nulls are the same. I heard a contrarian view for RFID technology implementation today, and that came from one of my favorite reporters, Crypto Investor. And he was not a fan of RFID technology overlaid with blockchain. He said this is just promising the same thing that was promised with RFID technology's invention 50 years ago. It hasn't been achieved for reasons other than the blockchain not being here. And he said this is not going to help it. Well, I tend to disagree. But I mean, I know that the can I say I disagree? Yes, I can, because I do. I think that the technology is being, can be developed to be, obviously can be developed further and more accurately, and the scanners pick up the RFID chips with more consistency and less errors going through it. I think that can be continued to be developed, and when enough money is thrown at a problem, it tends to be fixed. There's 3 companies with a hell of a lot of money being thrown at the problem of making RFID technology really, really applicable to industry. So we'll see what happens. Again, he takes a contrarian view quite a lot. I like the guy, really good reporter. Always keeps me level-headed. But I'll tell you what, he called the RaiBlocks, he called that thing down to a T. So he's now calling VeChain overbought, saying that RFID technology is being overhyped, which sucks for me because I got Walton Coin going through as well. Amarjit Singh said, hey, Fish, good morning, mate. What are the coins you're focusing on for the long term? Those having great technology, competitive promoters, and increasing industrial market acceptance. Really good question, man. Like that question. A couple of coins that I am focusing on for the long term. One was Walton. I like the partnerships and development work they've done very early in the place. Icon is a big one that I'm focusing on long term because of the strategy that they took in not jumping straight into the gold rush head first, like a lot of projects have. They did the work. They built the blockchain. They got partners, strategic partners. They have a mainnet ready to go tomorrow. And they only released their coin to the public in terms of after ICO. They only released it, 3 weeks ago, and they're hitting mainnet. So I think that Icon have positioned themselves extremely well. And should we get some really, really big news out of the annual summit in 2 weeks' time for Icon, if that happens, that Visa partnership happens to be true, yeah, I'm bullish on Icon for sure. PIVX, obviously, I'm getting my staking rewards there, and PIVX is one that tends to hold very, very strong through overall market corrections, and that's similar to quite a few of the actual residual income tokens. People who have experienced earning those rewards for being part of the network and securing the network are less likely to give up their tokens and their opportunity to earn more rewards. So I think residual income coins act as a good store of wealth in times of uncertainty. They retrace with the rest of the market, but they don't seem to be hit as heavily. And the thing is, if you're earning rewards the whole time, you're earning extra coins. Even when on a downturn market, you're earning extra coins, and when the market restores and goes bullish again, you've got extra coins that you can sell off at the highs. So yeah, I like residual income tokens, Neo, PIVX. So I think Neo, PIVX, Icon, Walton. I mean, I'm pretty much naming my top 5 from 2018. I haven't changed my stance a whole lot on that. I do like the shared resource industry. We're going to see how Gladius goes when it hits market very soon. Looking to distribute DDoS attacks across a decentralized network, essentially. So using unused bandwidth in your house and in businesses and that sort of thing to create pools capable of having malicious traffic distributed to them to fight off those DDoS attacks and provide a much more efficient, effective, and therefore cheaper service to businesses requiring DDoS protection, DDoS attack protection. Currently provided by companies like Cloudflare and Akamai, both valued at multi-billions of dollars. So if Alex Godwin, who we've had on the show before, and his team are able to achieve what they're setting out to achieve, I think that the valuations of a 1/10 of Cloudflare is certainly achievable if they're able to achieve it at a effective. And I'm saying if they can achieve it at more effective and more efficiently, I have no reason to believe they won't capture at least 10% of the lowest of those two's market cap, which would put them at about a $300 million valuation. So yeah, I'm pretty bullish on Gladius when it hits markets. Yeah, there's a few that I like at the moment. Q-Link, a lot of the ones that I got in at ICO that are working on those shared resources. I think that's pretty cool. Uber and things like that took off, and I realized this is a different sort of market and a very technical ambition, and it's still untested, and we've still got a lot of testing to go in terms of using shared resources. But I think if it's effective, all sorts of industries could be looking to utilize resources of the general public and pay them for that privilege, which is good for all of us. Brings down the cost to the consumer and allows people who are prepared for it to actually make some money. Point of difference for OneChain. That's a really good question, Shaquille Ahmed. Shaquille Ahmed said, what makes OneChain stand out? Isn't it just basically like Icon? Also, do you think we could see similar moves as we did with ICX? Hard to say exactly what path the market's going to take on OneChain, but there is similar hype around it. I actually think there's more hype around OneChain than there was around Icon. Icon wasn't super heavy in marketing. So Shaquille Ahmed, that's a really good question about the specific difference between OneChain and Icon. So the main thing that was impressive to me about OneChain is the partnerships that they'd announced coming to market with Icon and Aon. Am I right in saying that? But yeah, no, in terms of actual specific point of difference, I'd have to do some more research, Shaquille. Good question, man. Skipped on me. Sorry, guys. Catching up with all the chat. There's some good questions in here. Let's have a look. PB Junkie, if China turned off mining overnight, forgetting the FUD, the worst that can happen is that the network grinds to a halt for a max of 2 weeks, right? Then difficulty adjustment. BB Junkie, if the hash rate goes, I mean, the hash rate went down when Bitcoin Cash stole a lot of the mining. Like they stole a lot of the hash rate when everyone was talking about the flipping, right? Now I know it may not have been quite as big as taking the whole Chinese mining market out of the game altogether, but I don't know that it'll necessarily grind to a halt necessarily. It'll be slow and expensive, but how is that anything different to what we've experienced in recent times with Bitcoin? So, let's see what happens. SHA-256 is a type of encryption, thanks. BB Junkie. Loopy33 is from Iceland, I believe. That's what Loopy is saying. Conan Clark said Quebec in Canada. I've been to Quebec myself. I hadn't heard about the hard fork, Nick Taji. I sort of haven't. Verge is one that I got less bullish on because of the way the what's it called, Wraith Protocol missed target was handled. It created a lot of dissatisfaction amongst investors in the economy. One guy actually came live onto my stream and said, "You know what? I can forgive missing deadlines. I can forgive this and that, but just going silent and saying, well, stuff you, whatever, we're doing our own thing and not keeping us informed." He said, last straw for me, I'm out. And he dumped everything he had in Verge. Said, no, I'll look for something else. So I think a few people got a bit out of sorts over that. It'll be interesting. I didn't know there was a hard fork going on, though. Do you know what the hard forks, what it's for, Nick? Like, why are they forking? Facepalm, I love you, fish. I don't know what you guys are talking about. Michael Smith said, rumor China miners are moving to Quebec, Canada. If China shuts down mining, Digibyte have a system to fix the problem? That's what Nodio said. Me, I'm the most honest man in crypto. I don't know about that, man. Most honest in terms of, no, I don't know if I can respond to that. Iceland uses geothermal Genesis mining. Yeah, cool. Verge hard fork is just forced software update, no new coins. Okay, that's it. What's the update for? Is it scalability or is it part of the Wraith protocol upgrade implementation? Shaquille Ahmed, one chain is like Icon, that's what makes it good. There will be more than one blockchain competing for the same space. Look at all the Ethereum style platforms, they are all doing well. Seb Fox, it's a reasonable point. At what point, though, do we hit saturation? And don't forget, if we look at, I think we are going to see a shakeout of a lot of coins at some stage. And it'll be the really good ones that survive. So just because it's, it's going to take more than just good tech. It's going to take that community building. It's going to take getting excellent applications built on top of your network. It's going to take continuing to develop your technology. There's a lot of what ifs, and I don't believe that they'll all survive long term. I don't believe that. Like, they'll all survive because blockchain essentially doesn't not survive. But when I talk about, often say fading away into obscurity or a near zero valuation. Daniel Chippendale said, we're getting weed farms rather than solar farms. Yes, we are. I'm trying to catch up, guys. A lot of chatting today. TNC said, Wabi masternodes are coming Q2. Do you know how many coins for a masternode, TNC? I got some Wabi. For one thing, RFID was more expensive 50 years ago. Seb, that was actually the first point I was thinking. I got a lot of respect for Crypto Invest. I'm not going to lie. He's one guy who is just not a shill because he's constantly almost giving the negative side of things. But I do have a lot of respect for him. He seems very knowledgeable. And he said you can't. Seb said you can't compare electronics from 50 years ago until now. Yeah, I tend to agree with you, Seb. I'm just trying to give a balanced, report to you another argument that is being made by someone who I do respect in the economy. You can disagree on anything, oh leader. But we know what you look like, Fisho. Haha, look left and right before crossing the streets. Kelly Slade, do you think CME futures contracts are what's messing up with the market? They expire at the end of this week. SIBO was last week. It's a theory that's been put out there, Kelly Slade. What's going to have the bigger impact? What's going to have the bigger impact on the market? The futures trading, or is it the news and rumors out of Korea and China? What's going to have a big effect on market mentality and market confidence? It's a good question. Some people have dismissed that straight away and said that bringing liquidity into the space is a good thing. Full stop. It's getting new money and it's getting people in who weren't interested in Bitcoin before. They're in now. They understand, CME trading. They understand the futures markets. Okay, I can get into Bitcoin now. So there is an argument that it is a good thing for the economy. Yeah, I really couldn't speak to what whether the futures contracts have played as big a part as what some people are speculating. I don't think there's any way to determine that 100%. So we will see what happens. I think it's unfortunate also about the Korean inside trading scam, about the shorts on Bitcoin. Someone knew that the government was going to be tightening the screws on the exchanges and made a lot of money. There's been investigations going on over there. Kev said, jump straight into EOS though, right? Kev, I'm going to get Dee to do an ADA EOS review for you so she can tell you which one she prefers after reviewing them both. Me, I prefer coins that actually have a main net with applications being built on it. How many people hate me right now? Daniel Chippendale, most excited for Ethos this year. A lot of people are, man. I've been hearing a lot of chat about it. Jay said 1 week until the summit. See, I thought it was 2 weeks. Woogie was right. Damn it. Okay, 1 week until the summit. Let's hope the visa rumors turn out to be true, Jace, because you can buy me an island if that's the case. Kelly Slade said, I have PIVX. It's hanging in there. Yeah, absolutely. Walton, Noddy thinks Walton's solid. Yeah, PIVX has been good, Kelly Slade. It's one of the benefits behind having a good community. Like, price matters a little bit, I guess, but people aren't that concerned when it dips. No one expects it to drop off the face of the map. We've been on that first page of CoinMarketCap for a long, long time now. So certainly not one of those coins that pumped into the top 20 and is now back down in the bottom 200 somewhere. So yeah, I think that every time we show that we're dip resistant, a little more so than some other coins perhaps, that builds confidence in the long term for PIVX. Ven is solid, says Kelly Slade as well. Fish, what would Tron look like if it were a wave or a dinosaur? You just wanted me to say Tron, superheart.org. Let's see what else we got. Have you heard of Envion? No, I haven't. Sorry. Hourglass, when the China FUD happened, I told everyone to buy NEO. When China has got everyone scared as shit. These governments can't afford to ban blockchain forever. They will literally fall behind everyone else. Yeah, I think that's reasonable advice. Ethercept said, Verge, the update is to ensure that private transactions are indeed private. They previously included it in a soft fork, but not enough people updated, so they forced it. Cool, thanks, Ethercept. It brings up an interesting point, man, something that I've been discussing with Wilkie at the moment. And he said, what do you reckon is going to happen if the governments crack down hard on privacy coins? Because that's the thing that really concerns them. And I said, well, shit. I said, I think we'll probably take a hit, PIVX, if that happens, being honest, because that would be concerning. But we always have the option to remove our privacy features if we were so inclined. If that's what the community decided to do, that would be a consensus vote, and our devs would act on the will of the community. And ZPIV, as it's known, would be removed from. I think we can go, we can send transactions transparently. We don't have to do it anonymously. So that could be one option. But there is also a potential that, this is such I wouldn't call it an anarchist movement, but there is certainly a tint of that to it, especially from the people who were in from the early days, at least a liberating movement. So I think people who are in this space are not huge on authoritative control, and therefore a government saying to someone like me, you can't buy PIVX, okay, you fucking watch me. Sorry for the language, but that's my point, is I don't know that it would necessarily, it could actually go the other way. Where people are like, you know what? No, you don't get to tell us that, and we're going to buy whatever the hell we want. Superheart.org. I'm almost certain there is an actor in Bollywood named Shakil Ahmed, and also a cricketer in Pakistan, and one server in a little restaurant I once used to frequent in Switzerland. Yeah, Shakil Ahmed is a, well, I'm trying to remember if his first name was, sorry, Shakil, we're using your name in conversation. But I had a good friend in Sri Lanka called Ahmed, but I think it was Muhammad Ahmed. And so we've actually got a Muhammad Ahmed who comes in as well. And I was wondering if it was the same guy from Sri Lanka, but it's obviously a fairly common name. But yeah, I think there is a cricketer, Shakil Ahmed. That's probably why it really, really rang a bell. Can't remember. Wraith protocol update. I think that's responding to my thing before. Hey, A-Dog, what's been going? Zhao's in. Nadia said he's been to that restaurant. All right, coming back to live, guys. I'm going to miss some because I want to get up to more relevant thing. All countries will be in. Once the US falls over this year, they'll have no currency. Also, the US have run out of trees, so have no paper to print anymore. Oh, they'll probably just import it, Nadia. It's not going to end that quickly, I don't think. They got plenty of tricks up their sleeves. I heard EOS tokens can't be owned by US citizens. Is that true? Kelly Slade? Not sure. I don't have to really look into US regulations for myself, man. So, man or miss. Sorry, Kelly's one of those unisex names. Obviously, Kelly Slater. Kelly's probably more known as a female's name, but Slater is also Kelly Slater, legend, best surfer of all time for sure. So, sorry if I called you man and you're a lady. That sounds unforceable, Kelly, is what Pablo responded. Yeah, cool. Ethercept said, let me know when you're going to do the EOS versus ADA. I'd come back for that for sure. And he's hashtag go Cardano. Ethercept's a big Cardano fan. But Dee's going to do that one, mate. She's been looking into the things that actually don't work in the real world yet. I'm sticking to things that do work in the real world. I'm just asking to be slapped. Alcornem, how can I fight off the temptation of wanting to day trade during dips? Any advice or any tips for new day traders? Walk away from the computer. Don't sit there hitting the refresh button. Walk away. That's the best advice. Set your jackpot sells and buys if you're super keen on trading. So you've got massive margin. If you get a buy or a sell, you're likely to be able to turn that into a profitable trade. But realistically, man, if it's something you really want to get into, you should do some study on technical analysis, because as much as I'm not a big fan of it, a lot of people are, and when enough people are, it becomes a self-fulfilling prophecy. And you certainly see times of that in the crypto economy where it really helps to do your TA. Man, I'm just not a huge fan of it. I think there's way more that affects markets than graphs. I think it's far more news and rumor driven in this economy for starters. So my tip is, for people who aren't experienced with trading, probably don't. It's 90% of traders lose money. So it's not for everyone. NVN is going to mine Bitcoin, but the equipment is portable and can be taken to locations that are producing renewable power and buy it cheap. Trying to lessen the electrical requirements equals profits. I'm more concerned about trying to lessen the electrical requirements equals better earth. But yes, profits is a side effect of that. Superheart.org said China's about to pump because he has admitted that he is pumping 3 coins at the moment. Got loopering working. It's a browser issue using Chrome now. Anyone know how I get the airdrops? I'm sorry, BB Junkie, not my point of expertise. Anyone in the chat help out BB Junkie? If not, we'll figure it out over at Discord as always, BB. Carl Quested, are there now too many ICOs, or do you think a natural volume for the growth of the blockchain? Too many. Too many coins. Too many coins that have been rushed to market for the gold rush, in my opinion. So that's what this is. Anyone with an idea that can then put it on blockchain is going to make money. We've seen complete scams raise, like obvious scams, raise $500,000 at ICO. Gunfighter. We've seen another pyramid scheme, an obvious pyramid scheme, go to a $2 billion valuation. Yes, there are too many coins. And yes, a lot of them will fail because they're just not, they're not viable in the long term in the real world. So yeah, we have gotten a point. Does that mean that ICOs are over? No, I don't think so. Especially since I'm going to be launching one myself this year. But no, I think that the market's going to demand more from ICOs in 2018. Perhaps not. Perhaps money will just keep getting thrown around willy-nilly. But I expect the market to evolve and to learn. And as that happens, they're going to require much more to be willing to hand over their money. That's what I think. But maybe not. Maybe it'll just continue for another 12 months where people just throw money at anything. Because that seriously is what's happening at the moment. Like you could literally, I'm not trying to be rude, guys. I really am not. So I don't like to diss any coins. I'm not saying it can't be accepted as a coin or anything like that. There's nothing wrong with the technology. But Wilkie came over last night and we had a look at Potcoin. And it's got a $70 million market cap. And essentially its opening video is explaining to you like what its proposition is blockchain's proposition. It doesn't seem to have any point of difference. And yet there's a $70 million market cap behind it because it's called Potcoin. That's all I can say. I'm not saying it's bad. I mean, it can be adopted above and beyond Bitcoin. It's blockchain technology. It could be used instead of Bitcoin as our number one store of wealth in the economy and our number one gauge in the economy. But to me, it just seems insane that it is just it's just another blockchain that doesn't really provide a point of difference, and it's got a $70 million market cap. Just seems like a lot of money. Oh, you got PIVX and Tron now? Oh, that's all right. You can shield PIVX. No, don't shield PIVX. I want natural, nice, natural, organic, sustained growth. That's what we're aiming for at PIVX. But it's a good question, Carl Quested, because it's a saturated market, man, but there's still need for more. There is still more needs for blockchain to, like there's going to be a lot more people who figure out great ways of overlaying blockchain into our society. So we're still going to have ICOs. No, I haven't had a look at that one, Shaquille. That's an ICO. There's one ICO that I've had a look at recently. The group is doing, Grinkers and BB Junkie are doing a group ICO on that one. I'm not going to go on that one myself because I'm, philosophical. I kind of like, I don't feel like it brings that much to society. It'll probably do very well. Looks impressive, but. Most classic crypto statement by a government official. Bitcoin can't be a currency because we can't manipulate the price or make any more. Chinese government finance minister. Yes, true words were never spoke. Kelly Slade, there are lots of medical related coins coming out. It's good to see. I'm fairly biased towards encryption, as you'd probably know. So yeah, DNA. It's a cool trading symbol for starters, but that's not why I got involved. It was a very impressive project when I found it at ICO. I watched David speak at a conference on YouTube, and I was hooked. I thought the man was a medical visionary, and when he contacted me himself, I was pretty impressed. So yeah, I've got a lot of time for DNA in the block. The gene chain. So if there's one you're interested in medical industry, you can check out David's coin. We will get him on the show soon. No, my ICO is not surfing related, Carl Quested, but I have got ideas on how consensus models built into blockchain technology could actually be effective in improving the sport of surfing and bodyboarding internationally, or disciplines of surfing, I should say, including bodyboarding. Fishcoin ICO coming soon, helping worldwide oceans. Nah, yeah, I was going to do Fish Connect. Fish Connect. So what happens is I've got this trading bot. No, it's just me. I'm the trading bot, and I make 1% a day, every day, and I compound that. And so if you get 10 mates and they get 10 mates and 3 get 10 mates and then 5 more get 50 mates, I'd become a millionaire and take all your money. Oh, hang on, has that one already been done? Yeah, it has. Shit. Ethercept's got an ICO coming out this year as well. He said only Afronauts not allowed to pre-sale. Sorry, Johnny Crypto. That's so funny. Oh, I was speaking to Wilkie about my project last night, and he said, "Oh, how about if I just did this?" I said, "Wilkie, if you did that, you would own a bigger percentage of my own company than me." I said, "I'm not having that. I'm hard capping. I'm putting a Wilkie hard cap on, so you can't own more of my own company than I do, or the company that I started 5 years ago, because it'll be decentralized, so I won't own the company once it goes to market." But certainly, 5 years of hard work, so pretty attached to the vision, obviously. Fish is a robot. Yes, I am, mate. Fisherium. That's a good one. Amarjot Singh. Noddio's doing the big connect thing. Yeah, no. Fish Connect. What's up? Oh, shit. Yeah, okay, cool. I'm going to check out, guys. It's been a fun convo today. Let me just have a quick look at how the market's trending over the last hour, see if we can get any read on what's going to happen. It's been bearish. Like that's been my overall read on it. But then again, it was a good point was made by one of our members at the start of the show, saying that it's if you look at this 6 or 7 day, or a little bit further back, a lot of what is this thing up 278%? Syndicator going absolutely nuts. Syndicator up 37.73% in the last 24 hours is one of the big gainers amongst not too many, and Serum Labs token is another one. But just having a look at the last hour, guys, it does actually look like a pretty healthy mix of green and red. So it does look like the market has somewhat stabilized for the moment. Will our next run be this way or this way? Something you're going to have to decide for yourself. And if you are investing today, please only invest what you can afford to lose. Oh, yeah. Jia said if you don't like and subscribe, he'll hunt you down. The typical threat from the founder of the Crypto Wave investment crew. Take it easy, guys. Catch you tomorrow.